What's up, you guys? We're back with some more NFL picks. Week 13, Beat the Odds NFL edition here on Odds Checker. Got some good games last week and this week coming up. But before we get started, guys, how'd we do last week?
Not great. 1-3. We got the pick of the week though, and it was Thanksgiving, so that was a bonus for all of it. But 1-3. Lick my wounds a little bit, but I got the Patriots bet, which I'm pretty proud of.
Went 2-2 for the billionth week in a row, but we got pick of the week this time. So
yes,
I got to get over 500 at some point, man. Like just the law of averages, right? Like I can't go 2-2 every week. It's just gonna be impossible.
You're Mr. Coin Flip.
It's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one.
All right, let's get into our picks for this week. And, as always, we'll do our picks of the week at the end of this video.
Yes. It's kind of funny. It's like seeing bye weeks happening so late in the season. Week 13, week 14, we're getting buys still. I know that's happened before, but it's just week 14 buys next week is going to be pretty screwy. But for my first one, really my theme of this is going to be picking a lot of favorites, but it's going to be like I'm just picking teams. We're hitting the doldrums of the season. So I think a lot of teams are going to go way up and way down. And this one I'm going to start with is the divisional game. I'm going to go with the Vikings -7 at the Lions. This Vikings team, even with Kirk Cousins lining up under the right tackle, the right guard, and doing whatever he's doing, I do like what they are. I think they are a good team. Even with Dalvin Cook out, Madison gives them about 80% of the value at the running back position. And really, they've been forced to pass the ball anyways. They become more of an 11 personnel passing team. I think this Lions team, they try with everything with gum and toothpicks to make themselves something. But I mean, we're hitting December. It's getting cold there. This is when it's like, okay, might not win a game, and guys are already starting to look into vacation in January. So I think it's going to be an upswing where the Vikings, make a statement. They're going to go try and make a playoff run. They're the 7th seed right now. Vikings -7.
I'm going to use the grossest one that I'm going to pick up front.
Love it.
Jacksonville +12.5 at the Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford is hurt.
Yeah.
Like he's very clearly hurt. You watch that Packers game, there was a point where he was something like 2 of 9 for like 20 yards before he threw that bomb. He is not right. I don't think the news of, the laundry list of injuries coming out right before the game was by accident. It's very weird to look at the NFL and be like, Cleveland, Seattle, Los Angeles, like, you probably should just let your quarterback have a week of rest. And for whatever reason, they're letting these guys push through. And it seems like that's probably the bad way to handle it, because none of these guys are recovering at all. It just seems like they just keep getting more broken. So the Rams, I don't think that they're going to lose this game, outright, but 12.5 against the injured quarterback. The Rams needed some things to break right. I mean, their time of possession against Green Bay, it was like 2-1, even though, the scoreboard at the end of the day looks like it's a tight game. It wasn't a tight game. The Packers were up 19 at one point. The Rams were getting on the board just off of like quick turnover. Like they had, a muff punt that was like an automatic score basically. And then 2 shot plays. If Jacksonville can limit the shot plays, and Campbell, I know that corner that they got in the first round is looking a little bit better now. If they can just limit shot plays, the Rams don't have that much else going on for them. So I'm taking Jacksonville here.
It's so weird seeing the Rams not be efficient now. Like, it's like that was what was so exciting at the beginning of the year, was like they were explosive and doing the efficiency stuff. And then now it's like 1 out of 5, they do a good play. It's really, I think you're
Stafford,
right.
It's night.
He's banged up. Yeah, and that's the thing. This is for a conversation another time. I'm wondering if teams start realizing that they have 18 weeks now, 17 games, to maybe, you eat one for a week and you hold on to your hat and hope you can get, gum and toothpicks through the game. But I agree with you. Like if your quarterback's banged up, and he looks banged up, because those throws he's missing are not ones that you just missed. Those are ones that are just slipping out of his hand because he can't grip it. I agree with you. Next one, going with another favorite, like I said, another divisional tilt. Actually, there's a lot of divisional tilts this week. I'm going to go with the Chiefs -10 hosting the Broncos. This one, I'm not going to lie, don't feel great about it because that's a big spread. And the Broncos actually played good ball this week, even with Drew Lock having to play a quarter and a half. I'm going to go with, but I do think this Chiefs team has figured out a defense that works for them, even if it's not maybe to the upside that we've seen the last couple of weeks. Like I think that was like the best of the best. I do think they figured out formula. I think the offense it's still Patrick Mahomes and his fun weapons that he has. They're coming off where they're not playing. And I don't know if you know this, but Andy Reid is pretty damn good when he comes off a bye week. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs -10. I think they are going to start making some statements this last month of the season.
I'm going to go with this kind of like the similar theme to the Rams. San Francisco -2.5 at Seattle. Russ is banged up. I mean, it's the same conversation.
Bet against banged up quarterbacks.
Yes, bet against banged up quarterbacks because the line isn't moving with them. Really, like that's the problem is you're not getting the 6-point swing of, hey, X guy is out. Well, when Russell Wilson can't go under center and they know every single time he's in the pistol, it's going to be play action. Linebackers are biting on it and they're just playing the pass. Like you could see how that works out the last 2 weeks. Obviously, Washington and Seattle are going to play tonight. So we'll see how I guess it's more of like a week to week tracking thing. But at this point, I'm willing to bet on it. I don't think that they're right. I think you look at the Seattle team and up and down that roster, they really don't have that much talent. It's Russ, it's 2 wide receivers. That's what it is. That's really what it is. With Chris Carson out. Obviously, Chris Carson, they thought that he was going to come back from that neck injury. They tested it a little bit, and now it seems like the plug has been pulled for the entire season. So he's not even going to come back. They're talking about, we're going on a playoff run. What the hell?
Madness.
March Madness. What the hell is that? No, you guys are out of the playoffs. You're out of the playoffs. You lost too many games. I'm sorry. At some point you lose too many games. So yeah, I think that locker room too is like ripe for blow up. Like if they lose to Washington tonight, that there might not be a locker room to play on Sunday. Because the way that they talk, I mean, DK gets ejected out of a game, and then they ask him why he got ejected. He said, "I'm tired of losing." Like, okay, all right,
but guess what?
Getting ejected doesn't help.
No, dude, I agree with you. We did an exercise on another show about who the blue chip players for the Seahawks are, and it was like I started talking for 5 minutes before my co-host stopped me and goes, "You haven't named a guy yet," and I was like, "Yeah." You're right. I don't have much there. And guess what? I'm on the same side of that bet. That for my next bet, I'm the 49ers -2.5 at the Seahawks. I see it the same way. 49ers are playing good, really, really well right now. Like their offense is clicking. Their run game is great. Jimmy G does just enough. We know the formula for their offense. We know it's nothing surprising. And then the defense, not perfect all the time, but they're built up front. They have a front and team speed to keep up with Russ, who doesn't scramble like he used to. I'm with you. 49ers -2.5.
I'm going to take Washington at Las Vegas -2.5. This seems like a broken line to me. The Raiders are good. They're coming off of extended rest now. Washington is coming off of a short week, and they're going from East Coast to West Coast. I don't get it. I don't get it. Las Vegas has the better quarterback. Las Vegas plays a little bit of bland defense. That's exactly what Washington does. Washington plays like the most 2008 defense. Yeah, like in the NFL. So I don't get that. Vegas has better pass rushers now. Now that injuries have kind of set in on Washington's side. I just don't really understand this line at all. Like this should be like 5.5. This should be 5.5. It's at 2.5. I'm taking it as long as it's 3 or under. So
I think that's a smart angle on that one too. I almost lean the same way on that one because that one didn't really make sense, especially Washington. It's like they've won the last couple of weeks, much to my chagrin, but also it's that they have gotten incredible numbers on third down. Like they've gone like something.
They're the same team. Like they are who we thought they were.
They are. They're exactly. The defense has improved. Like it's nothing. It's just like they're variance on third down just went on a huge upswing because Taylor Heineke turns into Brett Favre on third down, apparently.
All right. Are we ready for our picks of the week?
I think we are.
We are.
All right. Well, I'm looking at Bucks Falcons this week. I was tempted to choose the Patriots again this week because I feel like I like what I see, but no, I'm not going that way. So Bucks going into this game are 8-3 and Falcons are 5-6. And Brady has never lost to the Falcons. And so, the Bucks offense seems to be back on track. And I think that the Bucks defense will be able to hold the Falcons. So I like Bucks -11 this week.
I can't argue with that one. But yeah, Falcons even go against the Jags. That was a pillow fight.
They made it
Yes. But for my pick of the week, again, another divisional game, and we're talking about teams going up and down. I am going with the Colts -8.5 at the Texans. Even with Tyrod Taylor playing his heart out and doing what he can, Texans are not good. They are a very not good team. Meanwhile, the Colts are actually a pretty good team. They gave the Bucks everything. Yeah, they really should have maybe beat the Bucks. They got pretty unlucky with a couple calls, a couple botched. Nyheim Hines botched a punt return, which he won't ever do again. I think this Colts team is a good team, and I'm going to go with them -8.5. I think they really take it to them against the Texans team that was struggling against the Jets at home, and there's going to be no fans in Houston. If you look at every single one of their games, there's no home field advantage there. You might as well be playing at a practice facility for this game. So Colts -8.5.
I'm going to go with Baltimore -3 at Pittsburgh. The one thing Baltimore can't do, they can't stop the pass at all. It's just Owe running out there, getting hustle sacks. You can't rely on a rookie like that. The good news is Ben Roethlisberger, he's just throwing balloons at this point. So you should be able to cover whatever he throws, or at least limit it to where he's not going to hurt you. So that it's real simple on that one. Marlon Humphrey is kind of like the only guy in Baltimore right now who can cover anyone, which is real tough for the Ravens when they play so man heavy. And even then, Marlon Humphrey is a little up and down. Pittsburgh, it's bad, man. Like, Ben, what the hell are we doing? Like, he was in there late in games. It almost looked like Tomlin was like, let's see if this guy gets hurt. Like, the game was out of hand. It's late in the fourth quarter. The dude is like over 40 at this point. And Roethlisberger's still in. It's not a great.
That's old school NFL. That's like, hey, you got us into this mess. You're finishing this game.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what it was.
It's tough. And like watching Ben Roethlisberger throw is even tougher. So, Baltimore, they can clamp it down defensively outside of the passing game. If they can fix their passing game woes, like this game shouldn't be close. 3-point line, like this is a great matchup for Baltimore, I think.
I agree. I completely agree. I have no arguments against this, especially Stephen Ruiz should put together another low light video of Big Ben because yesterday was atrocious.
Terrible.
All right. Well, I like it. Okay. So that's the end of our picks for this week. This was Beat the Odds NFL edition on Odds Checker, and we will catch you guys next week.